Have you ever thought about how it feels like to have full use of your mouth all again? Because that's what I've been dealing with recently. Just got my wisdom teeth pulled out a few weeks ago, and now I've finally been able to start chewing things again, or at least like everything basically. So hallelujah. Finally, it's been really nice. It's been really great to get back to normal, I guess. So hopefully it just continues to heal and then we'll be all good again. Anyways, hello everybody, this is that manga dude and welcome to a pickups video. This is the pickups video for February of 2025. And yes, there was quite a bit actually. I got quite a few different publishers. I think over 10 different publishers, which is crazy. It usually isn't that many per se, but I actually got quite a bit from different kinds of publishers that I was surprised that I didn't get more from, I guess. You'll see as we go out through this video, but it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be really exciting, and yeah, let's get started right now. Okay, so the way that these pickups videos always work is at the beginning I talk about volumes of manga from A, publishers that are either defunct or gone, or B, I just didn't get that much from, and you're going to see there is a lot. So let's get started with our first pickup. Is going to be from Comics 1, and that is going to be Wounded Man Volume 1, the white-haired demon from Kazuo Koike and Ryoichi Ikegami, which, yeah, I had no idea what this was. I've never seen this manga in my life, but it was really cool to see it. Yeah, I picked it up on kind of a whim, so excited to finally check it out and see what all the hubbub's about. I believe this is the same people who did Crying Freeman, and I believe Ryoichi Ikegami currently has a series out called Trillion Game right now. So yeah, if you want to check out more current work from this artist, you can go check that out. Alright, coming in from Tokyo Pop, I picked up this manga called Smuggler from Shohei Manabe, and I had no idea what this was, but it was pretty cheap. It looked kind of cool. It looks like it's a one-shot as well, and it looks like it's going to be kind of creepy, kind of interesting, so excited to check it out and see what it's all about. I do like randomly picking up these like kind of random manga that most people just don't talk about, so excited to see what this one is about. Alright, up next from Square Enix, I picked up Dragon and Chameleon Volume 2 from Ryo Ishiyama. I read the first volume a couple months ago and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really great, and I'm really excited to have the second volume and continue reading the series. But if you've never read this one before, it basically follows a story about this like super popular manga artist and this assistant that is known for being able to copy basically anybody he works with to a T, but is like not necessarily the best at creating his own work. After a freak accident, they actually switched bodies. So now the famed mangaka has to basically start from scratch while being looked down upon by all these different artists. So it's pretty interesting. I like the premise, and I do like the manga quite a bit, especially the writing, and the art is really, really good. So excited to check out this second volume, and hopefully it continues to be just as good as the first volume. Alright, coming in from Scholastic, of all people, that is going to be Hikaru in the Light from Mai Matsuda. This is the first volume, and this is a full-color manga, and it looks super cute. I don't know much about it. I do know that a lot of people were very interested to see how this was going to be, and just so you know, for being a first manga for Scholastic, this is great. The paper quality is fantastic. The colors look really nice. Overall quality of the book is great, and it's not too bad in terms of affordability. It's only $12 or $11.99 in the US. So considering that we get crappier manga for the same price in terms of their quality, this is very impressive. So excited to check this out and see if it's any good. Alright, coming in from Denpa, I picked up Char's Counterattack, Mobile Suit Gundam, Char's Counterattack, Bell Torchica's Children, Volume 3 from Uroaki Sabisi, Takayuki Yanase, Yutaka Izubuchi, Hajime Yatate, and Yoshiyuki Tomino. A lot of people work on this series, but this is a spin-off series of Mobile Suit Gundam. I believe this is supposed to be based off of a movie that came out, and I guess it's like an expanded version of that story. So this was my first foray into Mobile Suit Gundam, and actually been really enjoying it. The first two volumes were great, so excited to have this third volume and can't wait to jump into it. And then coming in from Last Gasp, I picked up Ultra Heaven Volume 1 from Keiichi Koike. I heard this is supposed to be an absolutely trippy, ridiculous, crazy manga. I have read Heaven's Door or whatever, which I believe is like supposed to be like a spin-off or like an extras of Ultra Heaven. So super cool to have this out in English and excited to check it out. This is from Last Gasp, by the way, and you should totally support them. They are really cool. They are a smaller publisher, I think out of San Francisco or somewhere up in Northern California. So really excited to have this, and I cannot wait to read it. Alright, coming in from ADV Manga, I picked up 2 volumes of Ray. This is volumes 2 and 3 from Akihito Yoshitomi. And yeah, this is a pretty rare series from what I could tell. And just excited to check it out. I've never read it yet, but it looks super stylish, looks super cool. So excited to hop into it soon and see what all the hubbub's about. Alright, coming in from Dark Horse, we picked up Oh My Goddess, volumes 2 and 3 from Kozuke Fujishima. This is a very popular series. It's currently being released in omnibuses by Dark Horse, but I prefer having smaller volumes, and I just recently read the first volume, and I thought it was pretty interesting. But basically it follows a story about this dude who's kind of down on his luck in a way, and wishes for something to happen, and lo and behold, this super popular or super powerful goddess is now always by his side. So it's about their kind of like just day-to-day lives being silly, being weird, while also trying to help people out and helping themselves out. Yeah, it's got really nice art, great character designs, and yeah, just excited to continue reading this series. And then coming in from Kodansha, I only picked up 2 volumes from Kodansha this month, and that is going to be Fall in Love, You False Angels Volume 1 from Koko Uzuki. I finally picked this up, and this was one of my hyped releases. This was one that I was super excited about. Yeah, follows a story about these 2 here in the front here, who are like the top of the class, super popular, super pretty and handsome, blah, 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 blah. But they have this ulterior side, kind of like Karekano, if you've ever read that. But yeah, it's super excited to have this, and can't wait to actually start reading it. And then last but not least from Kodansha, I picked up Medalist Volume 6 from Suda Maikata. I finally have Suda Maikata. I finally have this volume. I love Medalist. This series is so amazing, and I'm so excited to continue reading it now that I have the newest volume. Alright, up next, then we have ourselves the publishers that I got a little bit more volumes from that are not Viz Media. And first up is going to be Seven Seas. So first up, I picked up My Dear Detective Mitsuko's Case Files Volume 2 from Natsumi Ito. I am so happy to have this. I love this series. This series is very well done. Really great mystery series. The art is gorgeous. The story is really great. And I just love the character designs a whole lot. And I'm super happy to have this next volume. The series is really good. Alright, up next I decided to pick up Bop Shewappa, Little Pet Shop of Horrors, Bop Shewappa, Little Shop of Terrors. Kind of. This is Pet Shop of Horrors, Volume 1, the collector's edition from Matsuri Akino. It follows a story about this mysterious man here who owns a very weird, strange pet shop where all these animals seem to be appearing to be humans, and it's about the various stories that surround the people that adopt animals from this pet shop. It is odd, it's strange, and it's a cult classic, and I'm excited to finally have this and to check it out. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the first volume of Now That We Draw from Kiyu Takahata and Yuji Kaba. This follows a story about 2 characters who are really into manga creation and have decided to start fake dating in order to learn more about how they can make their rom-com / their romance series better. So it's a weird premise, and I won't lie, I think the front cover is definitely something, to say the least. I don't really like the character design too much, but interested in the premise, so hopefully I can get past her strange character design, and maybe the story will be really good. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the first volume of Captain Harlock, the classic collection. This is volume 1 from Leiji Matsumoto. I managed to get this half off, and it's in fantastic condition. This is the classic series. For a lot of people, I've never personally read this, but I am super excited because, yeah, it looks really cool. I've been really enjoying like retro / classic manga quite a bit. So hopefully this one continues to live up to that hype. And yeah, excited to get into it soon. All right, up next from Yen Press, I picked up quite a bit, and I also got a lot of, so I've split them by manga that I personally picked up versus the manga that I got for free, so that you know which one's which when I talk about these at some point. So first up, for what I picked up Call the Name of the Night, Volume 5 from Tama Mitsuboshi. This is the last volume of the series, and wow, what a send-off for the series. Yeah, I really enjoyed this series. It was super great. I will talk more about this during the reading log, because if you couldn't tell, I did already read it, but yeah, this is a really beautiful series if you've never read it before, but it follows a story about this girl here on the front who suffers from like this special, like this kind of like disease or whatever you want to call it, but basically she summons the night, which is kind of like this all-encompassing darkness that kind of eats up people and eats up everything around her whenever she's socially anxious or just anxious in general. So it's a pretty interesting premise. It mixes like kind of like the supernatural with actual feelings and situations, and it's just a really great series. I loved it so much, and yeah, excited to talk about this 5th volume in the reading log. All right, up next, I picked up Chained Soldier, not Chained Shoulder, Chained Soldier, Volume 1 from Takahiro and Yohei Takamura. I picked up this volume because this is actually for a video idea that I'm currently working on, or I will be working on soon. But yes, I do have this volume, and that's all I'll say about that for now. Pay attention to when I release videos, because there will be a video featuring this manga soon. Following that trend, I also picked up the Hachioji specialty Tengu's Love Volume 1 from Tomo Nanao. This was a series that I was somewhat curious in, but this is another one that's also a part of that video idea, so I will be talking about it when I get to making that video. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up Kowloon Generic Romance Volume 9 from Jun Miyazuki. Yes, this is the absolutely remarkable, amazing series that I have been enjoying so much. This is a romance drama mystery. It's like everything in one, with beautiful, wonderful sci-fi elements, some great art, and I am excited to continue reading this because we got left off on a massive cliffhanger in Volume 8, so excited to get this volume and hopefully read it soon. Up next, I decided to pick up the Green Yuri manga. That is the guy she was interested in. Wasn't a guy at all. Volume 2 from Sumiko Arai. Yes, this is a really great and extremely popular series now. Following a story about these two girls here. One girl who's totally into like super cool like rock music, but kind of has like more of like a popular girl's persona. And her classmate who is mysterious, who's this like this mysterious kind of quiet girl who also works at the shop that her dad runs, or not dad, sorry, her uncle runs. But she gets mistaken for a guy, and this girl totally falls head over heels about her. And then, as the title suggests, she finds out that she's not a guy, and sparks fly. And it's going to be interesting, and I'm excited to continue reading this series. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up Blend S, Volume 1 from Yuki Nakayama. I watched this anime a long time ago, kind of as a joke, and I ended up actually really enjoying it. But basically it follows a story about like this kind of silly cafe where all these like girls who work there, it's like a maid cafe, but they all like have these specific personas. So the main girl, she kind of has like a tsundere kind of vibe to her, kind of like a... yeah, kind of like a tsundere, kind of like, just kind of like dark and kind of like messing with people, but yeah, it's a really ridiculous premise, but it's a lot of fun, and yeah, excited to have the first volume. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the first volume of Takahashi from the Bike Shop from Arare Matsumushi. Yeah, I talked about this series in my hyped manga that I was... yeah, I talked about this one. Did I talk about Fall in Love, You False Angels? Now I'm forgetting. But I definitely talked about Takahashi from the Bike Shop. Yeah, this was a pretty interesting pickup. I was really excited to get this. Follows a story about these two here. This girl who is kind of like a yes woman at her work, and she's currently struggling with being able to say no, when one day she meets this kind of like delinquent looking dude who could tell her bike is falling apart, so he's like, hey, come to my shop and I'll help you fix your bike. And it's about how their relationship kind of builds from a friendship to possibly something more, but also how they start to grow from each other's circumstances. Yeah, so excited to have this first volume. I've talked about this in the FVI for February, I almost said January. So if you want my full opinions, you can go watch that out. And if you want my shorter opinions, it will be in the reading log that comes out in March. All right, this section is the Yen Press manga that I got for free from Yen Press. So excited that I got manga from them because I've actually never received manga from them. I received a couple of manhwa last year, but this is the first time I've gotten manga, and I managed to get 4 volumes, which is super cool. Thank you so much to Yen Press. I really appreciate it. But first up, managed to get Victoria of Many Faces, volume 1 from Komo Ushino, Siyu, and Nana Fujimi. Follows a story about this girl here whose name is Victoria, as the name suggests. Yes, as the name suggests. That's her cover. She used to be a former spy, but now she's trying to live a new life. One day, as she's like kind of getting accustomed to the new world that she's in, she finds this girl who's been left alone, and it's about them as they kind of create a family, found family kind of thing, and she kind of gets to try to figure out motherhood, but also just like trying to survive and not get re-caught as the spy. So pretty interesting premise. I have already read it, so I will talk more about this in the reading log, but for a quick TLDR, it's actually really good. I actually really liked it. I thought it was pretty fun, and yeah, excited to actually probably start continue reading this series as it comes out. Alright, up next, I got volume 1 of Liar Liar from Funa Yukina, Haruki Kuou, and Konomi. So, yes, this is a story that follows, this is a series that follows a story about a guy who, like, is moving into this school, where they have, like, all of these, like, classes, basically, like, and when I mean classes, I mean, like, hierarchy of, like, people, and the more you win against these people, the more you, like, play, the more you become a higher rank. So on accident, he actually beats one of the top girls, and he ends up becoming one of the highest ranks in the school. Now everybody's out to get him in order to kind of defeat him and get the stars that he has or whatever. And yeah, it's an interesting premise. My TLDR for this is that it wasn't my favorite series in the world, but I can see why people would like this. I will talk more about this in the reading log. Alright, up next, I didn't decide this at all. I was provided a volume of Meth, the complete edition from Kenji Tsurubuchi. I believe this is supposed to release in March, so I was really excited to get this early. I have not read this just yet, but I will be reading it in March, and yes, I will be very excited to talk about it if it's really good, and I will be slightly disappointed if it's not up to my whatever standards. I don't know. Up to how much I decide to like it. So really cool to have this early, and I definitely will be reading it soon. And last but not least, I got Helena and Mr. Big Bad Wolf from Bliss. This is volume 1. And yes, I already talked about this in the FVI for February, but I absolutely love this. If you want my full opinions, you should go check out that video. And if you want my TLDR for the future, go check out the reading log. But yes, this was really, really good. Alright, into our final section, we are talking about the Viz Media section. Yes, sir, Bob, we get tons of Viz Media manga because I just like picking up Viz Media. They just put out a lot of good stuff. What can I say? So, first up, I picked up volumes 13 and 14 of In Your Pasta from Rumiko Takahashi. Excited to finally have some more volumes of Rumiko Takahashi's classic work. And yes, I will be reading these probably very soon because I actually really enjoy Inuyasha. It's been a really fun read. Excuse me. Alright, from the Viz Signature line, I picked up Hitayasumi Volume 4 from Keigo Shinzo. Yes, sorry, Bob, we have another volume of one of my favorite series from last year. The series was awesome, and I absolutely love it, and I'm excited to have another volume. Alright, next, I picked up the first volume of Mujina Into the Deep from Inio Asano. Yes, this is Inio Asano's newest work. This is the same manga behind Goodnight Poon Poon and Dead Dead Demons DDD Destruction. And yes, it follows a story about a variety of different characters, really. But truly, it follows a story about an older man who's kind of down on his luck, really struggling. His name is Terumi Morgan. When one day he spots a Mujina, which is a type of person who has lost their rights within Japan, but are basically free to do what they want, since they're not technically, they're kind of under and over the law. So it's a pretty interesting premise. It has some pretty fun action across the board, and I'll talk more about this during the reading log, or go check out the FVI for my full opinions. Alright, from the Shoujo Beat line, I picked up Firefly Wedding Volume 1 from Oriko Tachibana. This is an absolutely wacky and wild story. It follows a story about this woman here who is part of like nobility. She's part of like a noble family, and but she's kind of sickly, has like a kind of a weak heart. So she goes to town one day and gets kidnapped. And then when she gets kidnapped, she gets saved by this absolutely crazed and maniacal I guess like samurai or whatever you want to call them, like swordsman. And then she offers to marry him because like she's trying to save her skin, trying to get out of there. And he's like, okay, let's do it then. So it's crazy, it's wild, it's ridiculous. And yes, I am excited to talk about this in the reading log. All right, up next, I decided to pick up 2 more volumes of Honey and Clover. This is volumes 6 and 7 from Chika Umino. This is a really fun, kind of like slice of life, sort of like rom-com, romantic drama series following the story about all these art college students as they are struggling to live, I guess, basically. They all have their different struggles about like art block and kind of like just trying to finish school because they have to kind of thing. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first couple of volumes, so I'm excited to have more volumes of the series. Alright, up next, I actually got this early, and I'm excited to have it. That's Kazune Kawahara's A Star Brighter Than the Sun, Volume 1. This is from the famed mangaka of High School Debut, as well as the writer for My Love Story. And yes, really excited to check this out. I don't know much about it, but I do love Kazune Kawahara's work. I've read High School Debut last year, and it was one of my top manga of the year, so excited to start this one up and see if it's really good. Alright, coming into Shumpin' Joe, also known as Shonen Jump, I picked up Black Clover Volume 36 from Yuki Tabata. Excited to have this, been really enjoying Black Clover, and it does not deserve all the hate that it gets. Up next, decided to pick up the first volume of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex from Masashi Kishimoto and Mikio Ikemoto. Yes, sirree, boss, this is the sequel series to Boruto. Did it really need a sequel? I don't know. Did it really need to be as long as it is? Who knows? But yes, I do have it, and I'm going to read it soon. Alright, up next, decided to pick up Kaiju number 8, volume 12. This is from Naoya Matsumoto, and it's a fantastic action series that I've been thoroughly enjoying, and I'm happy to have the next volume. Up next, from Yukinobu Tatsu, this is volume 11, the newest volume, and I'm excited to have this one as well. One of my favorite shonen series currently releasing. It's crazy, it's ridiculous, it's so much fun, and yes, happy to have the next volume. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 6th volume of Shoha Shoten. This is from Takashi Obata and Akinari Asakura. It follows a story about these 2 students who are huge fans of comedy and are trying to become like the next big why am I blanking? Mansai comedy? It's basically that style of comedy where they have 2 people in front of a mic and they're trying to do like jokes and acting and kind of stuff like that. So something that's very popular in Japan, definitely not popular as much here. But yes, excited to have the next volume and very much enjoying this series and excited to continue reading this one. Up next, decided to pick up the 10th volume of Akane Banashi, Yes sirree, boss, from one popular Japanese like acting thing to another. This is all about Rakugo, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love the series so much, from Yuki Suenaga and Takamasa Moe. So happy to have the next volume, and I'm definitely going to be talking about this in the reading log soon. Alright, up next, and in terms of my early volumes, I picked up 4 Lives Remain, Tatsuya Endo Before Spy Family. Obviously, this is from Tatsuya Endo, and this is a short story collection from Tatsuya Endo. I have not read this just yet, but let me tell you, I sure do hate these names. You could just call it 4 Lives Remain, and I would have been happy with that, but for some reason, they have to add this, because it's like, do they just think it's not going to sell? I mean, touche, I suppose, but like, I don't know, it just doesn't look great. But yeah, excited to have this. I like Tatsuya Endo's work quite a bit, so happy to have this, and we'll be reading it soon. And last, but certainly not least, I managed to pick up Blue Box, Volume 14 from Koji Miura. And yes, this is a really fun rom-com series with a sports elements in the background. I've been really enjoying the series, and I'm happy to have another volume, and cannot wait to continue reading it. And that is going to be it for the pickups video. What did you like? What did you see that you are excited to pick up? Let me know in the comments below. What are you picking up right now? Also, let me know in the comments below. I love it when you guys tell me. And yes, I do keep track of that stuff because I will add them to a list and they will be potentially picked up at some point soon. So yes, you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things. My foot is super numb, so I had to move. But thank you so much for all your support. It makes it so much fun to make these videos, and it's really fun to see all your comments, tell you how much you like the videos and stuff like that. It really means a lot. So thank you so much for your support. That is going to be it for this one. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.